On the afternoon of July 25, 2010, the CBI was in the middle of an intense 4-day search for the Home Minister of Gujarat. The charges were not minor: murder, kidnapping, and a deep criminal conspiracy to destroy evidence. When he finally reappeared, he didn't go to a police station. He walked into the BJP headquarters, held a press conference to dismiss the charges as a political fabrication by the central government, and then personally drove to the CBI office to surrender. He spent the next 3 months inside Sabarmati Central Jail, the same prison that once held Mahatma Gandhi. When he was finally granted bail, he was immediately ordered by the Supreme Court to leave his home state of Gujarat entirely. At 46 years old, the consensus was clear. To every analyst in the country, his political career was over. 9 years later, that same man stood in the parliament, achieving a goal that remained out of reach for 7 decades. In a single afternoon, he removed Article 370. It was a move that major figures like Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and Vajpayee had never successfully navigated. In 2014, Mamata Banerjee had famously asked on national television, "Who is Amit Shah?" By 2019, his name was synonymous with the most significant shifts in Indian law. This is the story of how a man, banished and written off by the establishment, transformed himself into the country's most effective political operator. It is a story of power built not through charm, but through cold calculation. Amit Shah's background isn't one of struggle or poverty. Born in 1964 to a wealthy business family in Mumbai, he was a biochemistry student prepared to run his father's PVC pipe business. But at 14, he began attending local RSS meetings. In 1982, he met a 32-year-old RSS worker named Narendra Modi. Modi was a man with no money and no home, entirely dedicated to the organization. At Modi's urging, Shah entered student politics and soon moved into the BJP. For nearly 20 years, Shah managed the campaigns of L.K. Advani and Gandhinagar. On the ground, he mastered the mathematics of the polling booth, learning exactly how to count and secure votes one block at a time. When the BJP won Gujarat in 1995, Shah spotted a problem. Despite losing the assembly, the Congress party still controlled the state's milk federations, cooperative banks, and local panchayats. Shah and Modi spent years traveling through every village, seeking out the second most powerful people, ambitious individuals who had lost local elections and were looking for a way in. They recruited 8,000 of them, systematically replacing the Congress network with their own. He proved his administrative skill at 35 when he took over the Ahmedabad District Cooperative Bank. The bank was facing a 36 crore loss. Within 1 year, Shah had turned it into a 27 crore profit. His own election margins reflected this precision. He went from a 25,000 vote victory in 1997 to a margin of nearly 3 lakh votes by 2007. He wasn't relying on charismatic speeches. He was relying on data and a network he had built over a decade. While other politicians were focused on the headlines, Shah was focused on the mechanics, ensuring he had loyal operatives stationed at every single polling booth. The 2010 charges against Shah were linked to the 2005 death of Sohrabuddin Sheikh. The police had claimed Sheikh was a terrorist targeting then Chief Minister Narendra Modi, but the CBI later alleged the encounter was a staged execution carried out on Shah's orders. During his 2-year exile from Gujarat, Shah lived in a small room in Delhi, watching the political world move forward while he was sidelined by the courts. When the ban was finally lifted in 2012, Shah warned his rivals that his absence was only temporary, comparing himself to a receding tide that would inevitably return. In 2014, as the BJP's national president, he launched a drive where anyone could join the party by simply leaving a missed call. This wasn't just a membership list. Each ping provided a verified phone number, location, and polling booth. Using 100 million numbers, Shah built a political map of India unseen by rivals, targeting specific blocks in Uttar Pradesh and the Northeast with surgical precision. His rivals expected the exile to break him. Instead, he used that time to build an infrastructure that bypassed traditional campaigning, allowing the BJP to reach voters with mathematical accuracy. As Home Minister in 2019, Shah began checking off long-standing ideological goals, such as the ban on instant triple talaq, which had been debated for over 3 decades. On August 5, 2019, he stood in the Rajya Sabha with a presidential order to revoke Article 370, insisting there shouldn't be a second's delay in its removal. Passing the bill required an intimate understanding of the legislative system. Even without a majority in the upper house, Shah navigated the chamber by identifying the specific pressure points needed to bring rival MPs into his column. Later that year, the CBI arrested P. Chidambaram. The irony was heavy. Chidambaram had been the Home Minister in 2010 when Amit Shah was sent to jail. Now, the roles were reversed. Whether it is the Citizenship Amendment Act or the approach to Naxalism, Shah's style is defined by the same uncompromising stance he took during his years in the legal system. For Shah, his time under investigation didn't lead to a pivot toward consensus, but to a reinforcement of this high-stakes methodology. Shah's path is unique in Indian history. He didn't come from a famous lineage or the freedom struggle. He is the only leader to have climbed every rung, from sticking posters at polling booths to heading the Home Ministry. He is not a traditional charismatic leader. He is an operator who commands a cold, calculated machine. The Indian public has seen the machinery, the arrests, and the administrative force, yet they have returned him to power with increasing majorities. Amit Shah has become the face of a leadership style that is strict and centralized. Having seen the mechanics and the results, the electorate has repeatedly reaffirmed this path. The real question isn't just how he built this machine, but why this is the specific tool India continues to reach for.